Hello everyone, welcome back for more of King's Quest, Quest for the Crown. I apologize once again for the window clipping in the previous video where the right side of the game screen got cut off a little bit. I think I mentioned the open broadcaster software that I'm using is generally pretty good, but it has some strange assumptions that it makes about, I think it tries to force a certain aspect ratio to the video, and so if your video dimensions don't conform to a standard aspect ratio, then it just decides to unceremoniously chop off the bottom or the right hand side of the video. I think I adjusted it such that you can see the whole game window now, and so here I'll just mention here you can see that finished looking flag that I was talking about before. And I singled this out not because I'm finished personally, but just because it was something that I happened to mention, and unfortunately it wasn't really visible in the previous video. So there you go, now you can see it a little better. Okay, that having been said, let me go ahead and restore my game, and we'll go back to where we were talking to the dragon. Let me go ahead and actually, hold on, where's the pause option? Pause, escape. I'll just pause this just for a second just to cease that incessant sound of the dragon hissing at us. So in King's Quest, in this game, there are a couple of sort of things that it's known for. One, of course, is largely being based on fairy tales. A lot of the puzzles in this game borrow quite liberally from classical fairy tales. But another thing that it was known for was having multiple puzzle solutions. Typically, a lot of the major puzzles in this game will have two solutions. One will be a so-called easier solution, and then one's a better solution. So there's one that is considered better, but usually requires a little bit more work or a little bit more ingenious thinking. So, for example, in this case with the dragon, there are two things you can do with the dragon. One is you can throw the dagger at him. If you look at our inventory here, you can see we have this very nice dagger, and you can just throw it at the dragon. In fact, let me go ahead and show you what happens if we do that. Throw daggers. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Nervously, you throw the dagger at the dragon and strike it in the heart. Death for the dragon is instant. And there you go. There's the dead dragon. So that's a very easy and simple solution. Use violence. That is obviously the solution that would first come to mind if we're playing a first-person shooter or something like that. But there's a way to get more points. Usually the game will give you more points for using a more clever, non-violent solution. Even though I don't really understand why, because I mean the dragon is obviously fire-breathing and dangerous, so wouldn't it be a better thing to rid the kingdom of a dangerous creature? But no, you're supposed to basically non-violently get the dragon out of your way. Can I even get the dagger back now? The mere thought of retrieving the dagger repulses you. I guess Sir Graham is not that brave or gallant of a knight after all. So let's go ahead and restore the game. I think actually, did I lose points for that? I have 24 points now, and I think before I had, 26. So I actually lost points for doing that. Also, for some reason, if you come back here into the well, you get 2 points for doing that. I don't know why. I'm not sure if that's a bug or what, but anyway. So there is water in our water bucket, and what we can do, what you're supposed to do, the more clever solution is to throw the water at the dragon. The water hits the dragon squarely in the mouth, extinguishing its roaring flames. No fire! How mortified and embarrassed the dragon is. Moving a huge boulder and leaving, the dragon creeps off to sulk. And so we got 5 points for doing that, and now of course we can get the mirror. I wonder, do I get another 2 points for going back into the well again? Yes, I do. It's kind of bizarre. Can I get infinite points for going into the well repeatedly? I don't think so. No, for some reason it happens like the first couple of times you do it. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Actually, I think what you're... You know, I think what I neglected to do is to deliberately fill the bucket. I think you're supposed to type fill bucket in well, and I didn't do that, but I guess that's not, I guess it's not too much of a tragedy because I got the 2 points for filling it indirectly by going back into the well anyhow. So there you go. Let's go ahead and save the game here. Why not? Yes. And there you go. So this was a convention that was carried through into I think most of the King's Quest games. It existed as far as King's Quest VI. Those of you who've played King's Quest VI might remember there are two ways to get into the castle towards the end of the game. One is easier, but the second one gets you a much better ending if you can pull it off. Another side advantage, it's not really a huge advantage, but one other nice little benefit is that now this passage is open, which isn't a big deal, but if we had killed the dragon, we would have had to go back into the well and climb up the rope to get out. We wouldn't be able to come out this way, so this is a handy little shortcut to get out of the cave. Another thing, one thing that always did sort of I shouldn't say always. I was going to say that always struck me about these games, but that's not true. It didn't always strike me about these games. A while ago, I think more than 10 years ago, I had a conversation with somebody about Sierra Adventures, and they told me, you know, Sierra Adventure games were always really funny. They always had this strong sense of humor, and there wasn't really a serious one in the whole bunch. There wasn't a serious adventure game in all of Sierra's sort of milieu or lineup or whatever of adventure games. Here's a bridge. If you try to cross the bridge, that music, that little music spiel that plays whenever an enemy shows up, that music used to really scare the heck out of me when I was a kid because it just comes up so suddenly and it's so dramatic in this version of the game. So anyway, yeah, a wretched troll appears. Now the troll will not kill you. In fact, he doesn't harm you at all. He doesn't hurt you in any way. He just prevents you from crossing the bridge because he's a troll. Tra-la-la-la. Now what you can do is give the troll some treasure. You can give him the diamonds, for example, and later on we'll acquire some other treasures as well. And if you give him some treasure, then he'll let you pass. But again, that's the easier solution, and there is a better solution that comes up later. Oh, here's a clover patch. Most of you probably know that classically a four-leaf clover is supposed to be lucky. If you stand somewhere else and say get clover, oh, that's funny. Usually, if you type that around here, it'll say you're not interested. Maybe it'll probably say, oh, it says you already have it. Usually it'll say you're not interested in any of the three-leaf clovers, but of course if you look closer, you'll notice that the one that was here has 4 leaves. So now we have a perfectly shaped 4-leaf clover. Anyway, I was talking about humor in these games, and so this guy I was talking to, I said, okay, I realize that a lot of Sierra's early adventures are known for their humor. There's, of course, there's Space Quest. I mean, Leisure Suit Larry was a very funny series right from the get-go, and Space Quest had a more kind of dry and ironic sense of humor, but it was still quite funny in some spots. Like, it was obviously meant to have a sense of humor. But what about something like King's Quest? I mean, King's Quest wasn't really very funny. It was a relatively serious kind of game, kind of dry. There wasn't really a lot of humor to it. And so the person I was speaking with said, this is a big tree, and it is a very large oak tree with branches stretching to the sky. And I think I was very proud of myself. I was so incredibly proud of myself as a kid because I think I figured this out myself, that you can climb the tree. Okay. And yeah, and then here's this huge bird's nest. There is a pure golden egg lying in the nest. Can we get the egg? Golden egg is so heavy you almost drop it. And now, if you want to be nice and be nice to Graham, you can just walk down here and walk down the bottom of the screen and have him nicely go down to the ground. But there's no benefit in doing so. You don't get any extra points for doing so. So, for your entertainment, you can also just do this. Apparently lose your grip while climbing the tree and fall to the earth below because this, oh, I'm very sorry, Graham. That was an accident, you know. Yes. So anyway, so yeah, I said, so what about King's Quest? I mean, King's Quest didn't really have a lot of humor in it. And the person I was speaking with said it was less obvious. I mean, there wasn't as much overt humor in King's Quest as in a Space Quest or Leisure Suit Larry. But in some of the ways that you could die and just in some of the things that happened, there was obviously a strong lightheartedness to it. And I mentioned that because of, well, for example, what you just saw with Graham sort of making the cuckoo clock sound after he falls out of the tree. And then there's other stuff like in some of the ways that you can die, like the way that the dragon kills you, and you end up with this perfectly Graham-shaped, charred heap of ashes on the ground. There are things like that which are, I think, fairly obviously meant to be funny in a sort of non-obvious kind of way. So I guess he was right. I mean, if you think about it, this game actually, it is pretty funny. It's not, I wouldn't say it's unintentionally funny because I think it is supposed to be funny, but it's not funny in like a comedy sort of way. It's just funny and occasionally sort of, in the sense that it has an occasional sort of sense of levity to it. So here is a, let's see, if we look at the ground, there appears to be some sort of bowl on the ground. Can we look in the bowl? No, you don't have it. All right, let's get it. Pick up the ceramic bowl. Of course, as a kid, I didn't know what ceramic means. Now, if we look at the bowl, you notice a word on the bottom of the bowl. What's important to do is to read the bowl. The word on the bottom of the bowl says fill. It's important to read that because notice I got a point for doing that. These are some of the little things that you sometimes miss when you're playing this game. You don't realize that you can get a point for doing something like reading the bowl, even though it's very obvious from this picture. I mean, you can read in real life with your own eyes. You can see it says fill. But if you don't type read bowl, then you won't get that extra point for having the game tell you that it says fill, even though it very obviously says that from the picture. So down here, what I'm trying to do is get this elf to show up. Oh, there we go. So that sound effect is when something or someone friendly or helpful shows up, as opposed to the other sound effect, or the other sort of music clip which plays when an enemy shows up. So this is a cute little elf. I'm not sure. I seem to recall that when I was a child, I already had some understanding of I don't necessarily want to say gay culture, but like, gay stereotypes or whatever. And I was kind of wondering, is this sort of like, oh, Graham's attracted to the elf. It's like it's a sexy little elf there. These are the thoughts that I had as a child. That probably explains it quite a lot, doesn't it? So we have this cute little elf here. Let's go ahead and hit on him. All you have to do is type hi. The elf, impressed by your friendliness, gives you a magic ring. So this is how things work in real life. If you just say hi to people, they will be so impressed by your friendliness that they'll just give you stuff for free. That's how things certainly do work in the real world. Kind person, know that once, only once, this ring will make you invisible, he says, and then disappears. And he's not lying. The ring is actually, it's gold with a breathtaking tiger's eye stone perched on top. And if you wear it, it will in fact make you invisible. Or do you have to rub it? I'm not sure if you have to rub it. Hold on, let me go ahead and save my game here. And let's see. So if we wear the ring, okay, you slip the beautiful ring on one of your fingers. Okay, he's not invisible yet. I think you have to rub it then. Yes, when you rub the magic ring, you mysteriously disappear except for your footprints. And you can just kind of faintly see that there are a couple of gray lines on the ground, which are there for the benefit of the player so that you can see where you are, because otherwise you would have no idea where Sir Graham is. But we're not going to use that now, so I'll go ahead and restore the game. This door, this is another part of the easy solution versus better solution thing. If you take the easy way out, so basically what you need to do is get into a place in the sky, and you can get there through this door, but this is the easy route. So I'm going to try and get the good Actually, I should probably show off both. It would probably be better to show off both possibilities, so I might show this off. But this is the easier way up, and then there's another way which is supposed to be better. Although I don't see why the other way is better. The other way is actually a lot more difficult, and there's no real tangible benefit to it other than just creating more trouble for yourself. This is a tree, obviously, with a lot of brown things on the ground. Ah, the tree is loaded with walnuts. Well, let's get a walnut. You pluck a nice walnut from the tree. Yes, Graham likes to pluck nuts. That's very special. Something very special for him. Can we eat the walnut? Ouch! It would be much easier if you opened the walnut first. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up. Ooh, when you open the walnut, you discover the nut inside is pure gold. Okay. Oh, you proudly admire your gold walnut. Yes, okay. Can we eat this walnut? Don't do that. This walnut is not edible since it is pure gold. Okay. I think you could probably still swallow it, but actually I guess that's not the definition of edible, as it edible means not necessarily just something that you can swallow, but something that's appropriate for consumption. In that screen to the left where I just was, there's a dwarf that sometimes shows up. The dwarf doesn't hurt you, but he steals your treasure. That's quite annoying. He'll steal valuable things off you if he catches you. Here you can see on the ground there are some. Let's see, nothing special. Can I look at the river? There's dangerous and powerful. There is a delta of pebbles on its edge. Can we get some pebbles? Yes, we can. We grab a handful of pebbles. There we go. The pebbles are worn smooth by the raging river. Is that actually the name of the river? Judging by the way it's capitalized, I don't know if that's... I'd assume that's probably the name of the river then. Oh, here's a... This is a view of the castle from down here. So you cannot go up from the screen. It's actually... The perspective of the game is a little bit weird because directly up from here would be the screen where we're in front of the castle. But if you remember, there was an alligator moat there, and so we can't go there. Even though it doesn't show the moat here, that's basically one screen up from here. So you can't go down from that screen, and you cannot go up from here where we are now. And in fact, there's no way to walk over to that other side there. Even if you go across the troll bridge, that won't actually get you to where that red mushroom is. We need to get that mushroom. We do need to get to the other side of the river, but we can't walk over there, not even over that troll bridge, so there'll have to be some other way to... Watch out. There's an ogre nearby. He will crush you in his strong arms if he catches you. Let's see if we can avoid the ogre. Very nice. We avoided the ogre. And we found a house. Let's take a look at this house. This old cottage is sagging and in great need of repair. Just like me. Okay, if we come around to the front, this looks very nice. There's an axe in a stump. So a water pump. Hey, that rhymes. Can we get some water? The rusty pump doesn't work. Okay. Can we get this axe? The old axe is tightly wedged in the tree stump. You cannot remove it no matter what you do. Maybe it's like Excalibur. If you remove the axe, then you'll become the one true knight, or the one true woodcutter. I don't know. Let's see. Can we look at the flowers here? Can we pick the flowers? Oh, you cannot get the flowers. At least not now. No, that really wasn't a euphemism. When I said flowers, I really meant actually flowers. But, okay. Let's go inside. Oh. You can tell by the sound effect that these people are friendly. Let's see, can we look at the people? The woodcutter is thin and dressed in rags. The woodcutter's wife is skinny and poorly dressed. Aren't those synonyms? I mean, thin, skinny, poorly dressed in rags. Isn't that kind of... So basically, you could just say that they're both thin and poorly dressed, but they wanted to use different words for the two of them. Is one of those like the masculine and one's the female version? We have for him and for her clothing insults. Okay, let's talk to the people. Oh, you get no response from the people. You people won't talk to me. Okay, let's talk to the guy. Welcome to my humble abode. I always thought it was a little peculiar the way both of these people will wave their arms frantically if you talk to them as if they're trying to shoo you away. Talk woman, not woman. She replies, I'd like to offer you something, but we do not even have food for ourselves. She also waves her arms. It's kind of peculiar. And yes, if you walk through those holes in the floor, you will die. Why don't I show that off since we're here? These poor people can't even afford to repair the floor. Sorry about that. Notice also that this death message has changed. Now it says, remember before it said something like, we are sorry that you did not succeed. Now it says, we are pleased to see that you are doing so well and hope that your score will keep improving. This message changes slightly as your score goes up. When you start getting more points, it becomes more encouraging and says, we're pleased to see that you're doing so well. And I think later on, if you get a lot of points, it says something like, we are delighted by your score. I think when I was a kid, I actually wondered, are they really delighted? Like, do they really have some way of monitoring how many points you have? Like, is there some communications link between my computer and their office, and they're actually supervising me and watching how many points I have, and are they really happy about it, or is that just some message that they put in the game? Because really, if they have no way of knowing how many points I got, then they can't be delighted by it, really, realistically speaking. These are the thoughts of the children. Okay, so here in the corner there is a violin, or as the game calls it, a fiddle, because, violin is just not classy enough. This has to be a fiddle. Actually, I think it's the other way around, actually. I think fiddle is sort of like a commoner's sort of relatively low-class word, and then I think violin is supposed to be more classy. Let's see, can we get the fiddle? You cannot take their last precious possession. Oh, sorry. All right, well, I don't know. I mean, I understand you have a violin or a fiddle, but maybe, your stove or your bed or your house might be a little bit more important than that. I don't know. Anyway, what you're supposed to do here is make good use of the bowl. So if we go back to the bowl, I don't know why or how you're supposed to know this, but knowing that there is the word fill on the bowl, if you just type fill, it says the bowl fills with the delicious stew, but the woodcutters are unaware of it. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me restore my game, because I think that if you do that in here, you don't get the point for it. What we need to do is go outside and type fill out here. There we go. After uttering that strange word, the bowl starts quivering and immediately fills up with a delicious hot stew. No? For some reason I thought that you get points for... I thought that you got some points for saying fill and actually having the bowl fill up, but okay, that's fine. Never mind. The bowl is full of a delicious-looking stew. Let's go ahead and give the bowl to... Can I just type give bowl? Yes, I can. The woodcutter family is very grateful that you have given them a bowl of stew. Now they will have at least one last meal. As a token of their gratitude, they offer their last earthly possession, the woodcutter's fiddle. This is a little bit depressing because it's like, okay, now they will have at least one last meal. Does that mean they're going to die tomorrow? I guess they won't die in a single day, but... Alright, the polished wood feels like satin. It seems to still vibrate from the last song it played. That's all you can do here. You can't actually help them out of their predicament because they're still going to starve to death soon, but at least they have one last meal. So, thanks. Oh, I don't understand. I'm sorry. I showed this off in a previous video, but one really awesome thing, one thing that really I find, in my opinion, that I find really very pleasant, is that if you actually type play fiddle, the game will actually play a nice little tune for you. Isn't that lovely? I At some point in the past, I made the observation, or maybe it was her crabbiness who made the observation, that all of the members of the Daventry royal family appear to be musically talented, because there's of course, in King's Quest IV, Rosella plays the organ as well as the flute, and Alexander, in King's Quest VI, Alexander also plays the flute. And is there anything else? In King's Quest V, of course, Graham plays the harp. And I'm trying to think of what else. I think there might be some others that I'm forgetting, but anyway, that's what comes to mind. So, I think that's pretty good for now. So we got the magic mirror. Oh, one other thing that I forgot to do. Let's take a look at the mirror. As you're holding the magic mirror, you look into it and see a vision of yourself with a crown on your head. Remember, this mirror sees the future, so this mirror appears to be predicting the future of ourselves as a king. Wow, that's very promising, isn't it? That seems to speak to our success. But it looks like the mirror lied. Sorry, Graham. Looks like that mirror wasn't really very magical after all. Okay, I think that makes a pretty good stopping point. So let's go ahead and stop the video here. I hope you folks are enjoying our playthrough of King's Quest, Quest for the Crown, and I will talk to you folks later. Bye-bye for now.